So one of the things I was thinking about it today because I'm working on creating another article for the source wall. And once again, thank you so much to for DST for working on that
Welcome,
website,
welcome, one and all, to
keeping everybody up
Julia's
to date with
room
the
of
changes and
fun,
everything. Much
mayhem, and
appreciated,
prizes.
my kind sir.
Will
You need to get that boy a
something
good
to flatten
Christmas
your
present.
opponents, or just some
Maybe a
useless
PS5.
crap?
I don't know.
Who knows? You pays your money and you takes your chances. Break the presents and get your prizes.
But an article I've been wanting to, I was thinking about writing up is so World of Warcraft. Everyone knows my love for World of Warcraft. They just did the great level squish. And so this brings it to where the max level was 120, but now they brought it down again back to max level 60. Right now, because of Shadowlands pre-patch, you can only get up to level 50. Level 50, level 51 to 60 is actually going to be the expansion. So with that in mind, I look back at DCUO and we're already climbing up into CR 310, 316. We're climbing up there, and like even the next episode, we're gonna be probably in the 320s, maybe even close to 330. So the thing that was coming in the back of my mind is like, how do we do it with a CR squish? How do we actually accomplish it? And I was thinking about it, making some notes, and as I was making notes, I'm like, you know what? One of the best things I did about with the article for the artifact system, how we can make changes, was literally the discussion with you guys. Like the whole discussion with all of you in mind and your thoughts and your feelings about it. Like I thought that was actually a pretty damn good thing. So I want to open the floor back up to you guys as well. Like, well, and of course, one of the level squishes did for World of Warcraft was all of their expansions. So when they hit level 10, they can go to any expansion they want to and level up. So it's not that they have to hit every single expansion to level through. It's a choose your own story kind of feel. And I do think that we can have that same kind of adventure, you know? It is a task to for sure look at your episodes, look at all of them, and almost come up with, hey, do you want a magic storyline? And then create that storyline within your episodes. Each episode doesn't really truly tie in until, of course, you get to like our current stuff now. Like, I mean, we all know Earth 3 kind of bled into the anniversary event. We all know that this episode is definitely going to this episode tied in with the previous stuff as well. A couple of other episodes. So the mindset really is of changing up how the episodes are. We're going into 39, guys. Number 39. We're gonna start 2021 with episode 40. Quarter one. I'm gonna guess quarter one. We'll probably have episode 39 from like November, December, January, maybe even February. I would think March would probably be definitely another episode launch, to say the least. But like we're in 40 going into 39 episodes. And when you look at the menu, and one of the big complaints that we always hear from the forums, that we always hear from players, is the queues. The queues don't there's just nothing there. There's just nothing. So how can we really fix it? And of course, players are always asking about, like, oh, give us solo queues. Just allow us to solo queue into it. Solo queuing is not the answer. It is absolutely not the answer, and it's actually going to kill the queue system more than how it's already kind of dead now. If you allow players to literally just hit a checkbox to solo queue into an instance, then honestly, just basically redesign the game into a single player game. And I'm pretty sure a lot of players kind of want that. And if you want that single player game, go play Marvel Avengers. There's your single player game. If you don't want to do multiplayer, you still want to play a superhero, go play Marvel Avengers. That's basically the same aspect you're gonna get. The matchmaking's broken. You're gonna do the same thing. But here in DCUO, it's an MMO. It is an actual MMORPG. It's a massive. You want to play with other players. You have to play with other players. And if you don't want to, then you're playing the wrong game. So you should just go play something else. I do believe that developers have done a pretty decent job on trying to create that solo player aspect to it, but that's just not it. That's just not here. You okay, babe? I mean, I still can. I'm really on DCO more just to have a conversation. Yeah, you're good, babe. Got a little stuff here and there, but so I mean I'm really opening up to you guys. Like when you look at the CR. Oh my god, I'm actually. Do I still even have that old seat? It's a very old. It's a very, very old spreadsheet that I used to have. Let me go into my Google Drive. Yes, that's me. That's my shield numbers. God. I think it was like the CR relevancy chart. Yeah, let me actually pull this up for you guys. This is literally actually a blast from the fucking past. Display. Yeah. So this is a very old and very ugly CR relevancy chart that I did all the way to the open episodes. I stopped at 18. I stopped working on this at CR 18. The last time I touched this was August 6th, 2019. And probably even way before that. Holy shit. No, it was November 2015. Damn. This bitch old.
Why
This
did you
thing
place
is
that
damn
there?
well ancient. But one of the things I wanted to accomplish with this was I wanted to show players that there was an overlap. I wanted to show players that this is like the CR range that you need to be in order to go those episodes. One of the tools I actually wanted to create for the source wall was actually a player, because we always get those questions all the time in chat, don't we? I mean, I'm pretty sure No Name, Sophie, Leon, I'm pretty sure like everybody, all of us get those questions about, I'm CR 55. What content am I supposed to be playing? And it's like, well, if I created a tool on the source wall, it's like, okay, here's what you do. If you put in your current CR, your overall CR is 55, then below that is going to show you the content you can play. It's going to show you the episodes you need to buy to play that content. Because currently, as we all know, here in game, it doesn't show you. It absolutely doesn't show you that Coast City is in Tier 3, but it doesn't tell you need to purchase Episode 1. And even in this guide, like Episode 1, Fight for the Light, is all over the place. You know? I mean, it has a Tier 2 alert. Was it Tier 2? I feel like this actually instantly probably changed. Like, Fight for the Light, Tier 2 alert, which actually might be, because, yeah. Owen Science Cells. That is from Episode 1. So, yeah. Has a Tier 2 alert. Has a Tier 3 alert. What else does it have? Oh, there's got to be more than what that had. Oh, yeah. It had a duo. It has a Tier 3 duo as well. So, it has 3 pieces of content that changes out in the tiers. That's a pretty obnoxious, isn't it? It's not really synced up to how the episode first launched. And of course, things definitely changed. And honestly, a little change for the better, too. Like when you buy episode 1, you're thinking like you're going to get like some tier 1 content. No, not even tier 1, it's tier 2. And that's the first episode. The second episode brings us into tier 2 open world. And that's kind of where everything kind of really gets messed up a little bit when we go into open episodes, you know? Because it honestly feels like here's an episode with on-duty content, here's an episode with open world. Here's an episode with on-duty content, here's another episode with open world. And when we move into the monthly episodes, as we call it, because it was basically like every month 2 pieces of content, we lost the open world. We were literally these developers were pumping out content just around the clock. Like they had nothing to live for. Like holy crap. And it was nice. We had content every single month, but it burnt our developers, it burnt our players, and the gear structure that was placed in was annoying. It was confusing, and players just didn't understand, and players didn't want to understand, and it just wasn't a good mix. If anything, at this point, I want the developers to kind of go back through the monthly episodes, through a monthly episode timeline, and really clean it up. Like I really want them to just to spit polish it, make it cleaner, and make it better. And I honestly have no idea how they would even fucking do it either. I just don't. Like immediately, if they're gonna go in there and clean it up, they would have to renumber the episodes. Every single one would just have to be renumbered, just straight out. So when you come into a CR level squish, it's not really just the combat rating changing, it's going to be the content. How do we make all of this time from CR 32, how do we get players from CR 32 all the way up to CR 309? Because the number is daunting. It is absolutely daunting. When a player comes in and sees how much they have to do, and then they get stuck in the episodes that has no players really doing it. How do we get out of that funk? Now, one of the big suggestions, and even I'm okay with it too, is the level sync system. It's actually a level sync. If players I can come over here to Owen Steinfeld, level sync my CR, drop my gear, my stats, and everything down to CR 64. I always believe into the max CR relevancy for that content. Always max. Drop me down to CR 64 and let me play the content and get source marks, because everyone knows source marks is like that's what we want. That's what we need. It's our universal currency, but we only have a small window of content to really get source marks. Fuck that. Level sync it. Give me source marks. Call it a day. Hell, give me quarks. Source marks and quarks. That's all we really want. That's what we really need, and give it to us. Kittens? So the level sync is definitely going to be one of the topics or little bullet points that's going to be discussed in the article. But the other side to it is definitely going to be the combat rating needs to be redone. We need to lower this number so it's easier on the eyes. 100%. King Wizard, thank you so much, brother. 22 months. High five. So the CR relevancy, so our combat rating needs to drop down. And even for me as a World of Warcraft player, coming from even level 1, getting to level 120 from 110 is still a bit of a daunting. The experience needed was just, woo! So the level squish to level 50 was a really cool thing to do. And that's also where the difference lies within World of Warcraft and DCO, for example. World of Warcraft still has a leveling system, but then they also have the item level on top of it, okay? Yeah, I'll go ahead and get rid of the spreadsheet because it's nasty. This is like this is 2015 spreadsheet. 2015 Trex was really weird, okay? He was a really weird guy. Oh, you didn't have to say that. Oh, by the way, the opening act on Amazon Prime, $15. Fucking fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. Great job, Steve Byrne. Was. Yes, was. He was a weird guy. Hush you. So when you look at our so that's how World of Warcraft does it. World of Warcraft has a leveling system that they squish, and then they have their item level rating that is more for the end game. How about a Comedy Store documentary? I still gotta watch it. I don't have access to Showtime. I still have to watch it though. I'll find a way. Life finds a way. Life doesn't suck. So within DCUO, our leveling system really is just a tutorial. Level 1 through 30 is it. Once you hit level 30, you come into the in-game. You are in the in-game climb. From episode 1, from CR32, when you hit level 30, you're like, boom, here's your free gear. CR32, boom, welcome to the in-game. Get to 300. Let's go. You got to climb it up. But we need to make that climb better. We need to make that climb easier on the eyes. Because, again, when you visually see that I have to tell a new player, oh, yeah, the max level right now is like 320. They're like, I'm level 15. It's like, oh, don't worry, dude. When you hit level 30, you'll get some free gear. You'll be CR32. You just got to work on getting your item level up, and you have to get gear. I have to start at 32 to get to 300? It's okay. It's going to be... No, it's not going to be okay. It's actually really a lot of stuff. Lone Wolf, what's going on, brother? Or sister. Sorry for me judging. I don't judge too hard. So the combat rating needs to go down. I'm not sure what magic number we really need to get it to, but the combat rating definitely is getting inflated. And, of course, with how our... with how our skill points are, the skill points are too getting inflated. The stats really are all getting inflated there. And no, I am definitely not going to be champion or putting anything around it that says, Trek says we need to lower our skill points. Not at all. Not at all. The game right now is built around gear, built around artifacts, built around augments, and skill points are literally the icing or the little sprinkles and icing on the cake. Where the cake itself is your gear, it's where you get your stats. Everything else empowers it. Everything else is going to increase it. And the people who have been playing this game longer, yes, they're going to dominate in that skill point game. And there's nothing that can be done about that. All right? There's absolutely nothing. And I also don't want anything done. Like, players who've been playing this game long enough, I mean, fuck them. Let them have their skill points. Shit. Hashtag skill points matter. But that really is going to be looking at basically how the gear is done. And even when they actually do that as well, because when you lower the CR, you're surely going to be lowering the stats on gear as well. Basically, you could say like everybody's gonna be dropping down to like CR 100, and we have to start climbing back. You go from CR 32 to CR 100, like, or something. So everything's going to be climbing up. The stats themselves are going to be squished. That cat. They're going to be squished. The inflated numbers here, the exponential curve that our stats are giving here with our stat points are going to be lowered. They just have to be in this example. And sadly, I'm not sure what those even squish stats even look like. But it's gonna have to happen. So even when, like, in this example, I'm gonna have to warn everybody. Stat points would definitely be changing. Not your skill points itself, but the actual stats in these stat points would have to change in a CR squish. They would just have to. The gear is gonna be lowered in stats. Skill points are gonna be lowered as well. Because you don't want to, like, inflate that high, you know. But in a CR squish world, like, the other thing too is you do have to look at skill points, you know? I mean, you have to keep in mind that players are going to have like over 400, even 500 skill points, the minimum, like 10 of you. And how is a person with 500 skill points going to live in a world that has a CR Squish state? And I can't answer that at the moment because I don't really have an idea. Yeah, I'm just really spitballing some ideas here. So when you look at CR for a CR Squish, you're of course, again, lowering the stats of gear, lowering the actual combat rating of the gear that's needed, and you're also going to look at condensing content. Now, again, in the World of Warcraft example, they have full episodes, full expansions that lasted for like 2-3 years or whatever. And those expansions have been redesigned to make it an actual leveling experience for that story. And they also have some mechanics in there too. It's like the story so far. The same thing could probably be expanded here in DCUO as well. We have going into 39 episodes, and at 39 episodes, looking back at my spreadsheet, you have to look at what of them overlap. At the very beginning, they did overlap a little bit. Some episodes were together in certain tiers, and that kind of system would probably have to be in place for it. They've already done the episode bundling with try episode 1 through 10 right now for $39.99. I don't know the price, I'm just guessing. But they bundled the episodes into these packs, and if you're going to bundle it with 1 through 7, or episodes 1 through 10, then call it an actual leveling experience for episodes 1 through 10. Bundle it together and redesign it so 1 through 10 is actually a leveling experience, a leveling gameplay experience. If you even want to go a step further and try and get them into the same storyline, which I know we kind of went all over the place a bit. As an example, I mean, I know we could definitely bundle up War of the Light Part 1, 2, and 3's chunks. Halls of Power Part 1, 2, and 3's chunks. And then, of course, Amazon Fury Part 1, 2, and 3. You guys want to live the Amazon story, and here's a whole story of Wonder Woman. Here's this whole stories of Superman. Here's all the stories of Batman. Like, bundle them up together and try and make a conclusive story. And make it into that leveling experience for the gear. It's the chest style is the Harley. I'm not, of course, not wearing it, but that's the Harley's chest style from Birds of Prey episode. That's from the vendor. Really street level, very street level. I love it. Ooh, don't want that. So again, that's also where a problem also comes into play with us, is that the level and experience within each and every episode isn't a level based on just like 50 to 60 or 20 to 30. It's really just from this CR to this CR. The leveling experience matters more from the item level than it really does from just some arbitrary number. And it's hard to really go through that. If we even stick with this whole 300 stuff, like, that's honestly where we need to look at those bundles, you know? Because we already know each episode kind of like climbs, it's a step ladder. It kind of climbs in with it. But at a certain point, we have to start looking at how can we group these together and make it into one fun leveling experience that's not going to be daunting. You know? Because when you look at... Oh, man, actually, let me go back to my spreadsheet even. Oh, I think I actually closed it. No, I didn't. Like, so for example, for Tier 4 has Hand of Fate, has Home Turf, and even has one episode from Battle for Earth. One piece of content from Battle for Earth. And Battle for Earth, like, fucking episode, 3? So what you have there are 3 episodes worth of content in one CR section. 3 episodes in one section. And when you're playing that content, and people actually ask me, it's like, I'm in Tier 4, what should I be playing? In Tier 4, go ahead. You should be CR70 in order to get to play that content. BR CR70, go ahead and buy Home Turf and Battle for Earth. Home Turf and Battle for Earth. Home Turf so you can just have some open world experience. Battle for Earth so you can run the tier 4 raid and get the highest piece of gear. You know, it needs that highest piece of gear there. The Home Turf is basically going to be almost a little bit of that same, if a little bit less, if not the same, as what you would get from that raid. So obviously the episodes there, like even War of the Light Part 1, Sons of Trigon, and War of the Light Part 1. 2 episodes in the same CR tier. Those CRs by Sons of Trigon. Or honestly, whichever episode came out first. Or last. I want to say it was War of the Light Part 1. Yeah. They're like, skip Sons of Trigon. Go into War of the Light Part 1. Sons of Trigon, you can play it if you want to get open world content. But then War of the Light, if you want some more open world, and you also want more content to actually run on the on duty. So I actually tell people to skip episodes. Because you don't want so if you have an episode with, or a tier section with 3 episodes, you don't want to have the first episode because it's going to have the least number of your item level for your CR. It's going to have the least item levels. You want to have the most recent or the last episode of that CR tier in order to get the highest CR possible to skip further. And yeah, this definitely is all about that skip stuff. Good night, Nado. You have a good one, brother. Sorry if I'm bothering you. Sorry if I'm boring you. Sorry. It's trying to talk out the thoughts. So that's really what the developers should be also looking at, is restructuring their tier system too. We can't really keep going like we are. We really can't. We need some kind of reset button when it comes to our leveling process, when it comes to our CR system. We need that reset button. I do believe that a tier restructuring, a whole episode restructuring, really needs to happen. Of course, I don't think DC and Warner Brothers are going to be okay with any of that. But we really do need it. We need a CR Squish. We need to bring the number down. Because I don't want players to look at the numbers and just feel daunting about it. You know, we just need to bring it down, restructure the tier system so it's a more conclusive leveling process for new players. Because again, they hit level 30, they come in there and like, oh my god, this is a lot. And I haven't even touched upon the instance that we are currently in right now because of COVID-19, which is the open episodes. We are still in Warner Brothers have nothing to do with DC? Incorrect. Warner Brothers still owns DC, and we're actually partnered with Warner Brothers Games. So DC and Warner Brothers are still very much tight family. Unless DC finally broke away from them today, which that was definitely not in my news feeds anywhere. But no, Warner Brothers and DC, they are still very much in the same family. Warner Brothers owns those bitches. And that's literally who the developers go to, is Warner Brothers and DC, because it's their license to do stuff for the game. But we need that restructuring. We absolutely do. It really is just a pain for new players who are coming in and not really sure exactly where to go. And again, it's like that's one of the things that they can change in game. And I know that I'm also going with a lot of ideas from World of Warcraft. That Daybreak, X. No. I know where you're going for, but hold on. Hold on for a second. So DCUO is ran by Dimensional Link Games. It's owned by ran by Dimensional Link Games. They're the studio, and Daybreak is now the publisher. They're the publisher now. It used to be that, but Daybreak is the publisher. Dimensional Link Games is the studio that runs DCUO. DCUO is a licensed property of Warner Brothers and DC Comics. This game is a very licensed product, like heavily licensed. Like when developers come up with story ideas and need to use characters, they have to go to Warner Brothers and DC Comics and say, hey, we have this story, we want to use these characters, what can we do this? And the parents say yay or nay. So Daybreak doesn't really do anything else with DCUO besides just saying like they're the publisher of the game. Dimensional Link Games is now the studio that runs this sucker. But it's okay. Yeah, basically, yeah, man, it sucks. It has to suck for new players. It absolutely does. And I'll get you in 1 second, Coop. One of the things I do grab from World of Warcraft, because I am a World of Warcraft player. I just am. I played Final Fantasy XIV a little bit, and I hear Raph and I hear Stevie B talk about it. And then there are some aspects from every other game that we can definitely pull in from. Except for the Looter Shear from Destiny 2. We can't do that. But from World of Warcraft, one of the best things I love about them is while I'm leveling, I'll have a mission that I can go to the hero board, and the hero board will literally tell me the pieces of content that I can do, and it will point me in that direction. DCUO really needs to have that hero board, you know? It needs to have that hero board or the bulletin board, you know, like Daily Planet Bulletin or the Gotham Gazette Bulletin, whatever, something on the screen in-game that will allow players to point where they need to go at their combat rating. When they basically hit like the max CR for that episode, there should be a bulletin board or a bulletin that comes in mail, or Oracle comes over. Probably not Oracle calculator, definitely, but it should just be coming over. It's like, hey, be sure to check the Daily Planet bulletin board for your next adventure. Whoever needs help, and it guides the player into what episode needs to go, where they need to travel, and especially what episodes they probably need to buy. Whatever something this might go to. and like I was saying before, like right now it's open episodes. Every episode is free to play, except for the most current one. So you can't play episode 38 right now unless you are a member or if you've already purchased the episode. So right now it's all free content, free episodes, which is exactly what a free-to-play game should be about. This is exactly it. Players are coming in, they're able to play all this content and enjoy it. True, they have longer loot locks, but that's just the name of the game. That's the name of free-to-play. Can't help it. But I think they should definitely capitalize on this free-to-play motion and keep it. Keep it. If they still want to try and sell the episodes and give the episodes more incentive for those players to purchase them. It's like, man, I'm really having a lot of fun with Fight for the Light, but the inventory is a mess. These loot locks are terrible. Cool. If you buy Fight for the Light, you'll get more inventory. Your cash will be able to go up a little bit, and your loot locks will change. Your loot locks will be where they are for members because you own the episode, because you own it. But I also do believe that the episodes now should not be sold singularly. They should be bundled at this point. They need to be bundled at a nice, good price, and that's kind of and that bundle contains the leveling for them for like 32 to 90 or something, you know, like put like a couple of tiers in there for them to level through. That's going to be seamless, you know. It's going to be a seamless thing. We are going into 40 episodes, I believe. Like, boom, crunch it down. 4 bundles. 4 bundles. Each bundle allows for a leveling experience. It'll be great. But I'm a crazy son of a bitch, so what do I know? Coop here. Been listening the last 10 minutes, and it's sad that there hasn't been any streamlining that makes the game easier to pick back up again. Agreed. So Liz, queue for old raids for new players. It's very difficult, or even getting 8 people. Absolutely. Absolutely. In the game, and people like the game. I'm on the forums. I'm hearing the good things. Twitter, not so much. Facebook, I keep hearing this one guy, but I think I blocked him, so I don't have to hear him anymore. It's players are having a good time. They're enjoying it until they, of course, they get to the artifact breakthroughs, until they get to the augments breakthroughs. But that's another rant entirely, and I've definitely exhausted every fucking notion of that. But now I'm looking at the gameplay. Now we got to look at the CR. We got to look at how the episode structures, the tier structure. This is still a lot of stuff that, of course, a small studio just doesn't have time for. Of course, of course, PvP still needs to be fixed too, but that's more or less not really a PvP fix, but it's really just making sure powers are kind of a little bit more on balance in it, and probably adding some new maps. But like that's PvP is like it's a whole big thing. A PvP article may come into the future from me. I don't know. It's like, hey, here's some PvP tips from a non-PvP player, but this is how I want it done. Haha! Bring back the moon. I miss the moon. But of course, I know I'm rambling and everything, but that's kind of basically it. Like I'm bringing this out because I'm working on just the little notes on making this an actual Sourcewell article to talk about how we can better the new player experience. And going into World of Warcraft, this level squish that they just did, the expansion system that they just changed, it is welcoming. New players are loving it. Veteran players are loving it. My alts are loving it. I'm loving it. So DCUO, at this point, we're going into 10 years next year, guys and ladies. 10 years.
Is way sweeter.
We're going into, we'll have episode 40 next year. It's gonna be crazy. Or WoW's a bigger studio. Oh, hands down. We all believe, we haven't really had confirmation, but we believe World of Warcraft has enough developers. They actually have 2 expansion teams, like Team A and Team B. So when Team A is working on an expansion and it releases, Team B is already working on the next expansion. So while Team A's expansion's released, they're doing the bug fixes. Team B is working on the next expansion, and then they'll release, and Team A is now on the next expansion after that. So like they go back and forth. That's the theory. There's no concrete evidence of it, but it's a fucking theory. And if you don't believe me, play the different episodes, the expansions for World of Warcraft, because they are damn well different and they are damn well changing. And it's like, okay, this is like night and day. I'm looking at you, Cataclysm. I'm looking at you. I like to see the inside of studio of DC to see how they work. Well, hopefully when they get back into the office, maybe we actually get that. Right now, everybody's working from home, and God bless them. They're working at home and still able to churn out some great stuff. Props to Meps, props to SJ, props to Meg, props to Oceans, props to Millbarge, to Charon, to Q. I always mess up his name. To Batuba, like every freaking person, like working from home and knocking this out. Even other game developers who are working from home because of COVID, like more power to you. Good luck, and thank you for your dedication. Thank you so much for your job. Thank you for doing all this. But we're going into 10 years. I think it definitely is time for a change. I don't believe that Dimensional Link Games' next game is going to be DCUO 2. I honestly 100% do not believe it's going to be that. I think it's going to be just a brand new property. Because of Crystal Dynamics' fuck up of Avengers, I definitely now feel it's not going to be Marvel. I just feel it's not going to be Marvel now, because Marvel doesn't know what kind of game it wants. It just doesn't know. And it hurts my soul because they just can't get it fucking right. What do you think about DC on PS5 in the future? I think it'll be on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I have no... I have no doubt that it's going to show up on those two consoles. I also believe that there's not going to be any changes. I just don't. I don't know what really people expect that are going to be like, oh, DCUO is not going to be for PS5 players. What? DCUO had like a minor graphic update to join into the PS4. Hell, PC just got a fucking 60 frames per second upgrade on our PC. This game isn't even up to PC standards, and yet we still have players. Fuck people who are trying to say it's not going to last on PS5. Fuck you. It's going to be just fine on the PS5. Who the hell cares? It's a fucking free-to-play game. What the fuck do you expect? DCO, I thought this game was dead like Retail WoW. Oh, lurker. No, DCO is definitely not going to get shut down at all. At all. I'm not going to say it's going to be shocking because I am super shocked. No knock on DCUO at all, but I am really shocked that DCUO has lasted 9 years. It's going to last 10 years next January. Only because I did not expect an MMO of this generation coming out to actually last. Marvel Heroes Online didn't last. No. They shut the fuck down. They came to PS4. They came to the PS4 for 2 weeks. I'm exaggerating. They came to 2 weeks and they were gone. WildStar shut down. Whoa. Didn't expect it. But DCUO is still here. Fuck, Star Wars The Old Republic is still here. People will lost of money put into the game if that happened. That's the nature of the beast. So that's just the nature of the beast. The game could shut down tomorrow, and there's nothing that can be done. That is literally, you just have to look at it as, yeah, Lifetimers got to deal with fucking Lifetime. They did. To this day, I wish I would have just went into debt just to get that Lifetime when it was available. I really wish. But the game can shut down instantly. Not instantly, but they can give the heads up. I mean, the game can just shut down. And that is money that people have spent, even myself, for the past 9 years, and it's gone. And the only thing that you can do is move on. There's no legal precedent or anything. You can try and get your money back after 9 years of spending. You can even try and hold on to your receipts. You're not going to get the money back. You had 9 years of enjoyment, of producing it, but sadly the game just couldn't be held up, or the license expired. The license could easily expire, and DC could just pull the plug and do everything. Why they not did that on PlayStation? PlayStation doesn't allow Lifetime. Lifetime, to do Lifetime goes over the PlayStation Network limit. I think it even goes over the Xbox Live limit too. So yeah, so PlayStation, the consoles do not support Lifetime subscriptions. They just don't. That is absolutely terrible. That is not on the developers. That is on PlayStation and Nintendo, and hell, I'll even put Nintendo Switch into both.
Back to the bug cave.
But it's because of the consoles, that the console makers, that they are not allowed to do Lifetime memberships. And because of that, that's why they don't allow Lifetime membership on PC. That's just it. And as a PC player, I am mad. Oh, Leon, thank you so much for the 100 biddies, buddy. Thanks, bud. That's a lot of gear. Yeah, I am a hoarder. You know this. You know me. My life don't change. But yeah, like that's, again, like, because of the consoles, we can't have like membership sales and such like that. It's like very particular. And well, also even on PC too, it's like we can't really even have too many sales, because our all access $15 gives us not only a sub to DCUO, but we sub up to PlanetSide 2, EverQuest 2, like all the other Daybreak games. we were able to sub to. But now that Dimensional Ink Games are their own company, they're their own studio, for the next game, they could come in with like, hey, these are dig bucks. Use dig bucks in our brand new game. We can't use it for DCUO because it's published by Daybreak Games. But as a studio, Dig could come out with their own currency for their brand new game. They could try and squeeze it in there for DCUO, but it probably won't work. I'm not mad. I'm just having a discussion. You open 1 million capsules? Probably thousands. I wouldn't say 1 million. Definitely thousands. Definitely thousands. No, not thousands. It's gotta be hundreds. I haven't opened up over 1,000. Where's that metric, Meps? Meps, where's that metric at? I would like to see that metric, like how many time capsules have been opened. Probably shouldn't give that information out to the public. So if you just want to slide in my DMs with that, that'll be great. Now I'm just kind of interested. But no, just having a conversation on the possibility of a CR Squish, tier and episode restructuring, just silly things, just
you don't know what it's
thinking
like
out loud.
It gets dark.
Fun stuff.
Very dark. And then at night,
What I do.
the wolves come.
We're thinking of the next DCO source wall article, because our article for the artifacts, the artifact change, like I have gotten so many positive responses from that. I am fucking thrilled. That is working out. That article was a really, really good, well-written article to better the game. And I definitely have my issues with the game, but it doesn't mean I'm ever going to disrespect Meps. I'm ever going to disrespect SJ. Like I will tell them in a PM, of course. Like I will tell them, it's like, look, I'm not happy with this. This is a bad idea. But at the end of the day, it's like I definitely have respect for them. And have that conversation with them has been great with me. But they always know never to talk artifacts. Like, hey Trex, what do you think about this? What do you think about this artifact? I'm like, I don't fucking want to know. Like, don't talk to me about artifacts. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear nothing about it unless you're changing the breakthrough process and everything. Oh, nothing swift. We're just having a discussion. Just brainstorming the idea of what could happen if there's a CR Squish, similar to how World of Warcraft Squish did, in tier restructuring for content and for episodes. What do you guys think the last major improvement was, and what realistically will be the next? The last major improvement was... the last big update, I think, was augments. The augment system, I think, was the biggest thing last. Which I definitely love the augment system versus... definitely versus the old modding that we have. And I will say, like, this episode for Wonderverse, they changed the leveling aspect to it. They really changed a lot of this. I'm not really sure why they keep increasing the experience for it. They could literally just keep it the same experience needed. They didn't really need to keep increasing it, because it's like here's a new episode, you need 100 experience. It's like, okay, well, here's 100 fucking experience. Yeah, augments came out for Titans. Yeah, fuck, that was the last thing. That was basically the big the last big update change to an existing system. Yeah, it was augments. Yeah. No. Yes. No.
What you doing?
Artifacts? Yeah. Artifacts came out. When did artifacts come out? Nope, not you. Fuck, when did artifacts come out? Was that... No, of course JLD had their own. The very first ones had their own system. It came out in November. It was before Atlantis, because Atlantis changed the game. It had to be the episode before Atlantis. I can't remember now. I need more encouragements to hunt skill points. I can't help you there. Cannot help you there. Just keep your skill point. I mean, that's the beauty about skill points too, is you can go back and do old stuff, but like especially if you're a new player, I wouldn't stress too much about it. I would just keep pushing forward, and the more content that comes out, more skill points, and so you can just keep climbing up there. Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. Episode 76. That was a long while ago. God, what episode was during episode 76? That was 30 updates ago. My God. But I definitely think that DCUO is coming to PS5 and Xbox. There's no shadow of a doubt in my mind that those games are not coming to the next gen. I know the developers have not said a official wording on it. We are definitely getting to crunch time on those, so we should hopefully be hearing something. And I don't know. I think DCO will be coming to PS5 and Xbox, but I don't think they're going to get a graphics update. It definitely needs a little touch here and there, but I don't think that we're going to get any of that. Now it would be pretty fucking cool if, the episode 39 with Legion comes out, like, actually as a launch title that week for Xbox One or Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It would be cool if Legion was actually like a launch episode for those consoles. That would be kind of neat. Everybody saw the picture of Saturn Girl now, right? Like, they posted a picture of Saturn Girl. And apparently everybody hates it because it's Michael Bendis's Legion of Superheroes. Is his run of Legion that bad? Everybody hates it. I think the costume looks pretty cool, but everybody hates Bendis's Legion. It's like, wow, I've never seen... Man, people just do not like this. I mean, I stopped reading comics a while ago because...
Why did you
I'm
place
poor.
that there?
But that was basically my whole thing. Just wanted to not vent, but just wanted to brainstorm out loud to everybody. So just to really gauge and see what everybody else thought, and just trying to figure out things. Like, well, what do you guys think about like a whole CR Squish? It's like it's the CR Squish would definitely be something that veteran players, or even mild veteran players who have been here for a while, even they would definitely hate that system. But I think the system isn't really there for veteran players. It's a system that needs to be implemented for new players, 100%. Artifacts dropped November 1st, 2017, according to some weird site called the Source Wall. Hey, heard that site's pretty weird, but like a good weird. What's your thoughts on graphics for DC? I think they're fine. I mean, I definitely have like pollution, graphic pollution as a tank. There's definitely just a lot of graphic stuff going on that I can't see the boss a lot. So I do wish that we had there was a way that we can turn that shit down. But I also play on PC, so I really have like rare times of disconnects or freezing. But the graphics for me, fine. It's like people can always come out and say it's like, man, this graphics look like it was 2011. Haha, let me tell you a secret. I mean, the game came out in 2011. It was built before 2011. I mean, the graphics are dated. Yeah, it's a fucking 10-year-old game. Of course they're dated. But I mean, it's still good. And even though, like, as much as I love New World, it's definitely a very pretty game, and the combat's actually pretty damn good. New World right now is one of those rare unicorns that it actually is pretty on par with both graphics and gameplay, but the graphics don't maketh the game. I will always agree to that. The graphics don't maketh the game. Of course, my buddy Brandon will always say shinies, and I do agree. I do like pretty things. I like that little. I like the little ray tracing. It's great. But this is a 10-year-old game. I don't expect the developers to put dev time into, like, hey, we added ray tracing to your aura. Do you like that? Do you like ray tracing on your aura? I'm like, what the fuck is? I guess. I mean, hell, if you don't believe me, graphics make a good game. Fucking look at Among Us. It's a fucking cartoon. And thanks to Twitch players. Thanks to Twitch streamers, it's now one of the #1 games out there. Like, everyone's fucking blowing it up, and it's been out for a while.
It'd clearly go better over here.
I think DC has a chance to improve when the PS5 launches. There's nothing to improve. There's absolutely nothing. And you know, developers at this point, they haven't said anything about it. I don't want people to hold their breath about a graphics update for PS5. There's no need for it. There's no need for a graphics update for when it goes PS5 or Xbox X. There is none whatsoever. What really can be done with this besides, oh, you see those cracks over there on the wall? I want more detail. I want more detail. I want to see individual hairs on crypto. That's what I want to see. I want to see individual hairs. I want to see individual hairs so much I see the fleas. I want to see the super fleas. Don't need it. They need to definitely handle more of the graphics pollution that happens while in combat than anything else. This PS5 offer tech to make massive spasm stop or smack spams? I don't think so. How do you like Genshin Impact? I'm actually loving Genshin Impact. I really like it. I need to play it a little bit. I need to play a little bit in the morning and then definitely play a lot in the evening. Just because of like how the resin system is, but the resin system is like the biggest deterrent for me. But so far in Genshin, I love the exploration. I love the combat. I love how it looks. And yeah, there's not going to be a time I don't recommend Genshin Impact to players. Hey, you want to play a free-to-play little single-player RPG on your phone, on your PlayStation, or even on your computer? Play Genshin Impact. It's a really good fucking game. I mean, the only system is like the gacha system. The gacha system is like one of the. It's not a pain. It's not a pain as much as I felt it was going to be. I mean, a new banner starts tomorrow where certain characters have a higher increase of dropping, which is pretty cool. It happened on the launched banner, but you really don't have. I spent $5 and I've been playing it since launch, which has been what 3-4 weeks. I think it's been like almost. I want to say it's been 3 weeks, and I've only spent $5, and I haven't spent any other dime besides that, which the $5 gets me like a monthly stipend or a daily stipend of like 90 gems. And I use that to do the wishes to get more characters, and so far my RNG has actually been pretty good. I complain, but it's been pretty good. If you're not confused on why DC lags when there's a lot of people, but I see other games with 500 people in one lobby and it runs smooth. Yes, like Arwen said, it's an old engine. We are a game that's still running on Unreal Engine 3. I don't see them ever upgrading to Unreal 4. They're damn well not going to fucking upgrade to Unreal 5. There's no. And I understand this as well, is like if they ever update to Unreal 4, or God forbid, Unreal 5, that is them making a brand new game. This game, when I look at how the game runs and how I look at look at the coding for it, and of course when you look at the graphics and shit, it's like there seems to be like a lot of shit that's hard coded in this game that the developers of the past didn't really future proof a lot of stuff. Again, we need a new UI. we need a new UI. When that was being in development, they had to create a brand new UI before it got trashed because people had laid off. And so now the developers are trying to really just utilize the same current UI and try to work around this old ass code in order to add new stuff. More power to them, by the way, too. But yeah, Unreal 3 is still a working engine, but there's just a lot of coding that was in the past that the developers of the past, when they were making it, they didn't future-proof this very well. They did not. Making a brand new DCUO game would definitely probably have to be in the cards to implement a lot of stuff. But hey, they've done a good job on what they did. The fortify system, the artifact system, especially the auras, the materials, the chromas, like they are definitely working in this system to like the greatest that they can. They are pushing the envelope of this code so much that sure enough, I definitely feel like that the code is gonna break one day. It's just like everyone remember that Monty Python scene from the Holy Grail? Where the fat guy at the restaurant just keeps eating and then he just explodes? That's going to be the code, I feel. The code is going to get one ocean chroma. Ocean's going to make one chroma that's going to break the entire game. And it's just like, oops. Oopsie. I heard a rumor that Daybreak is making a super... it's not Daybreak. Remember, Daybreak is just now a publisher. They are not a game development studio. Dimensional Ink Games is creating a new superhero game. We won't even know if it's going to be superhero, but we do know it's got to be superhero. We do know they're just making a new game, but they have nothing to show just yet. I'm just glad you guys can whisper to the devs, Trex, even if they don't always listen. Yeah. And again, my communication with MEPS and SJ and them, I go to the forums. I go to the forums, I
is way sweeter
send them a message, just some thoughts. Like, even this video that I'm recording now, I'm literally I'm recording it, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm like, Meps, do you and your team just want to take a listen? And, I don't know, just ignore me. But, yeah, the code's just old. Let's see. Arwen, because unlike Terra or Final Fantasy XIV, it is a PlayStation game ported to PC. That's why there's barely breathing room for engine improvement. And Arwen is 1,000% correct. The developers can obviously correct me, and I'll definitely listen to them. But in my eyes, at launch, this game is a console ported game to PC. It is ported. This game, this structure was built to play on PlayStation. Because remember before it was Daybreak, it had the name Sony Online Entertainment. Because Sony Online Entertainment also created EverQuest. And EverQuest was a PC game, but they were like, hey, why don't you bring an MMO over here to PlayStation? It's like, all right, we'll just create the DC Universe title. That'd be great. And they're like, oh, we should probably put it on PC. Okay, we'll put it on PC. And then they just pushed it over. That's basically it. Like, the game that we see is run for PlayStation. It's ran for console. And as PC players, again, it was just an update or two ago. We just got 60 frames per second. And because of 60 frames per second, the game looks fucking it looks beautiful. I love it. I love my 60 frames per second. Thank you, RTX 2060. Thank you. RTX on. Mew? Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. Terra's basically dead. Oh, that's a shame. I think Terra was the one had the game studio that kind of got sold, but the game's still going to be around. I can't remember. I was watching MMO Byte talk about it. Terra's dead because of handling, but we're talking about structure. Terra recently moved to 64-bit. I do remember that. I do remember Terra recently moved to 64. And again, look at Terra. Terra's a very beautiful game. It was a very pretty game. And it wasn't even on 64-bit? What? It was crazy. Who do? What are you doing? All right. Trax, you're lightly thinking of Rift. Rift was a very niche MMO. Proud that it's actually still going, but Rift was also a pretty good game too. But I got distracted heavily with Rift because in the opening starting zone you get rifts. My cousins and I ran around and did so many rifts. They were like, "Okay, you know what? Let's go do some questing. Let's go do some questing, guys." And we looked at our quest log and everything was gray. We over-leveled this beginning starting zone. It's like, oh, I guess we need to go up the mountain to the next zone? Let's just go there. But also keep in mind, too, when it comes to DCUO, and how even thinking about like a CR Squish or the episode restructuring or the tier restructuring, DCUO is kind of built like a casual MMO. And again, for folks out there who don't know what casual MMO is, why I call it, it's a casual MMO because it's an MMO that you can come into this game, and you can come in, get your stuff done in like a couple of hours, and then you can leave. Because by the time you've already done all your dailies, you've done all your weeklies, you've already done all of your on duty menu stuff, you've done your open world, you've done on duty menu, you're done. You're done on this one character unless you decide to play older content outside of your relevancy, or if you decide to spend replay badges. That's it.
Toilet in my house.
For players out there who only have one character, it's a very casual MMO. Even for players who have alts, like it gets a bit redundant and a little bit tiresome too. But you get in and you get out. That's done. That's it. It's a casual MMO. Very casual. It's a casual game. The leveling process of augments, leveling process of artifacts, those are the carrots on the sticks that want you to stay in the game. But there's a heavy monetization blocked behind it that also make it to where it's annoying and it's really bad to experience it. I will always tell folks that I love the artifact system. I like my artifacts. I can make a different player build. I can play different aspects of it. But when it literally comes down to the experience gain of leveling it, of breakthroughs, it's terrible. It's exhausting, and it's detrimental to the player. They just don't want to do it anymore.
I'm just
at all.
like ants at a picnic, ain't I?
So those carrots on the sticks are supposed to keep players in the game, but it's not going to work because of the monetization behind it. The leveling system is terrible behind it, and it literally is just basically a gate. It is a gate. And true, you can always play like, oh, you can get nth metal everywhere. It's like, nah, fuck that. That stuff is like me getting 10 nth metal and me needing to get 2,500,000 experience. And you're going to give me 10 experience? Boop. What is this? Like, this is awful. This is terrible. I got 249.90 to go now. This is, ugh. It's awful. But the big change that they did here in Wonderverse, and I know I wasn't here for Wonderverse a lot. My sub ran out because, I'm an adult. My sub ran out. I had other responsibilities going on, so I was really outside of the game a lot because I didn't have a drive because I had other responsibilities, and it happens. That's where we're fucking adults. It happens a lot, and it sucks. But I love Wonderverse for the fact that they take away the casual of it. They took away a lot of the casual aspect because when you got into Wonderverse, there was really no get in, get out. You got in, you played your stuff, and then when you were done with your daily missions, with your weekly missions, and your on-duty stuff, what did you have to do? You had open world bosses that were on a timer that you could do. There's an open world boss system that dropped their own currency. There's an open world boss system that dropped their own currency and had their own prizes on the vendor that you didn't need replay badges for. You could spend your days farming that and going with it. Do you guys know what I do all the time in World of Warcraft? I do my fucking world quests. I'm going to world quests, doing everything here and there because it's something to do. There was nothing to do in DCUO until Wonderverse really brought that aspect to it. And yeah, replaying the same 4 bosses, 5 bosses sometimes, over and over again. It is boring. Absolutely. I can't stress that. Yeah, it's a boring thing. But is it something to do?
Been here how long?
Yes.
You haven't even offered me a drink?
Because even in that same boring mode, you could say, oh my God, I'm running this raid all day. People spend hundreds of dollars spending money on replay badges and replaying the same raid over and over and over again. And those players, they have enjoyment. They enjoy it. The people who are doing the Wonderverse bounties, they enjoy it. And there's also players out there who are farming the raids. Like, oh my God, this is fucking work. Guess what? Wonderverse bosses also work. No, I don't want to become famous. If I want to become famous, I'll just go on the OnlyFans. Get the fuck out of here. I like the unlimited boxes for low characters, like you said, money all day. Yeah. It's great. It's absolutely great. You drop those tins. But actually, I'm gonna include that. I know Walker, you talked about like the biggest improvement that they did, and the next improvement for the future. The next improvement wasn't the augment system. The augment system was good, but I will actually say the Wonderverse bounty system. The Wonderverse bounty system was a good one. I will defend it. It is a good one because it gives players a reason to play stay in the game and keep playing, even though we're not spending money. And I know that's terrible for me to say. They're a business. They're supposed to make money. They can make money every other fucking which way. They really can. The biggest thing that developers want is people to be in the game and playing it. They don't want players to jump in for 4 hours and then jump back out. Right? As an MMO game, they want you to stay in. And they will definitely give you reasons to want to buy and spend on the marketplace. They want players to spend money. They want to try and make a system that gets players who are not spending money to spend money. They certainly do. But right now in Wonderverse, with the content that they gave us, we don't have to spend it. We can literally come in and play. It's great. It's beautiful. If the only thing we really have to pay for is really just even buying the episode, fucking hey. See, 2K spent on first 2 months of DCO trying to get my artifacts at max level. Like, see that? See that right there? Swift, I will respect your decision to spend that money, but holy fuck, that should not happen. We should not be spending that much, especially on an in-game PvP item, because that makes that shit pay to win. Absolutely does. Holy fuck. That is absolutely obnoxious and should not be a thing. Right and lower characters don't have to farm out deserted zones now. Yeah, exactly. Like my characters I don't have to queue anymore. I don't have to worry about queuing if I can just go to the fucking vendor or go to the Wonderverse, farm the goddamn bounties out there, and just pick up gear from the fucking vendor. Fuck it, just call it a day.
You don't know what it's like when you go away.
Why is there K-pop
It's
up when I come
so
to this
dark.
channel?
And then, at night,
Well, I mean, I respect
wolves come.
BTS. I think they're pretty good people. Pretty good people. Ads are tailored to your viewing behavior. Yeah, they are. Wait, a South American heroine will be chosen as the new Wonder Woman? It's not Diana? It's a legacy character? Oh shit. Yeah, I've seen the octopus cat meme. Yeah. But it's probably about time we wrap this up. Yeah. Yep, and now I rarely play the game. I sometimes regret it, but it made me happy at one point, so it's all good. And that's really it. That's really it. Like if you're happy with what you spent, then you're fucking happy. There's so many stupid shit that I bought myself. Like I hate time capsules, but yeah, I definitely spent money on it. And I'll do it fucking again too. Because some of those styles are just fucking great. So your microphone on your phone's always on there, Aaron. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, and that's the thing, is like you wanted to support the game and get this done, so you did that method. I will 100% think that they need to get rid of this. They need to get rid of the monetization behind artifacts, but they're not. It's absolutely not, because it's a moneymaker. But I will always champion and always voice my opinion that change needs to happen. It needs to be a game. It needs to be an item that is able to be leveled up by just playing the game. The option to open up your wallet should exactly be an option. Right now, if you go higher than 120, it's fucking mandatory. The developers, other players can say it's not. You're right. It's not. But it is. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to be spending all that time farming for catalysts, have a breakthrough chance of 5%, and then it fail. Like, yeah, I'm going to fucking spend $5 and get this fucking little seal so I don't have to get it done. Mr. Gold attracts the wallet in the most. Yeah, wrap it up. Let's talk about New World. There's nothing to talk about New World. No. Can not stay out on, but what can they make good money on from otherwise? The marketplace needs an update too. No, not higher legendary, no. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like I definitely feel that the developers need to push more, push legendary more, and it does need to be updated. It does need to be updated to fit the current gaming, because it's currently not. The 500 Daybreak cache, which, by the way, I need to make sure if I need to get mine or not. The 500 Daybreak cache is a nice thing.
Why did you
Oh, it's going to be on the first. Okay. And yeah, my 500, I can save it up a couple of months and get it. But no, I shouldn't have to save it up. I really shouldn't. You know? So, I mean, it definitely, the 500 you get from from our sub is really a crutch to use. Like, you can spend that 500 on anything anything on the marketplace. You can go for it. Like, no, man. That basically 500 is always going to be used for artifact stuff. Always. So instead, they need to give us artifact stuff as a membership. They need to give us those perks. Premium honestly needs an update too. They really do. You're fine, Walker. You're absolutely fine, buddy. Let's see. LPVE could literally be Ultimate Alliance. LPVE could be Smitish MOBA. All characters unlocked. Sell those skins in though. Yeah. Yeah, premium fucking cap. Fucking A. But agreed. Another thing that they definitely, and I'm actually in agreement of it, like a battle pass for PvP. I mean, PvP needs an update in the fact that the powers are not balanced in there, but they definitely need to be worked on in that regard. And because of how powers are more centered around PvE, they have to kind of do like outside stuff to make it where PvE is kind of like on par. But like selling Legends PvE, selling the Legends characters on the marketplace is definitely a thing that they can do. But instead of really just making like a whole new Legends character, sell it as a skin. You give us Superman, Batman, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Joker. Give us the base characters, and then here are the different skins. Done. Here are the different skins that you can pick out for these Legends characters. And that's actually like a discussion like Arwen and we all had before with Legends PvE too. It's like, change it up. Make it into a fucking MOBA. Make it into an actual MOBA and like put some little effort into it that can be changed up a bit. Like a game inside of a game. I mean, that's how fucking Dota started out. You know, that's how RTS started. I'm sorry, how the MOBA started, because it was inside of like World of Warcraft, and it was a game built around that. And it's like, fuck it, let's go ahead and make it into its own MOBA game, and it's there. But the other ways that they already make money is literally replay badges. They make money from time capsules. They definitely make money from artifacts and from the augment system because it's monetized now. But those two monetizations need to go away. Artifacts and augments don't need to be monetized at all. So they need to work on the time capsules, making those a little better, enticing folks there. I recommend definitely making the Quark system into a paid currency on the marketplace. For 20, just an example, for $20, I should be able to get X amount of Quarks straight from the marketplace for $20 and use that Quarks to buy whatever I want to on the Booster Gold stuff, you know? Because Quarks are that currency. Quarks can be that currency. We only get Quarks from time capsules or if we trade out marks of victory. Which even that ratio from not Marks of Victory, that's the old fucking name. From the source marks. The source marks ratio to Quarks needs to be updated. That is bad. That is terrible. Especially the amount of source marks that we are actually pigeonholed to get with content. It is a very small amount that we can get. I only wish this whorish for selling styles without RNG. And that's the other thing too, is they need to put chromas and materials on the marketplace. But the problem is, and I feel the developers are on this game plan too, is that they can't. They can't only because the price tag they will put on, nobody would buy it. I think we as a player base,
I've got a toilet
we
in my
lucked
house.
the fuck out by getting the Champions material for $20. I think we lucked out by getting a couple of other. I think there's some other auras on there. Not the old auras, but like some new stuff. Getting onto the marketplace, we lucked out. The reality of what the price for the materials, for the auras, for the chromas, all of that stuff being on the marketplace, the price tag people would not be able to do. They would absolutely hate it. I would, but I would just hate myself. Final Fantasy 14 Mog Station tells me so. That is true as well. I mean, you look at the Mog Station, it's like, fuck, they're able to pull that shit off for a fucking mount. We should be able to pull that off for a little outfit. Yeah, it'd be great. That's what I think Oceans just needs to, like, Oceans, pick one of the mini chromas that you got and just toss it on the marketplace and see what happens. Make it the good one. Toss it on the marketplace. The old power sets, the power set auras, the power set materials, the shit that we got from the Resurgence mega capsules, they need to go on the marketplace. They just do. They absolutely do. Are they contractually restricted from re-releasing OG booster auras? They had that word exclusive. And I don't know if they really ran with it or want to hold on to it. But that is why we don't have the OG auras or much of anything from booster bundles that were the extreme rares, is because they were in fact exclusives. They might have not used that word, but that's exactly what we had. And because of that exclusivity, that's where they made the Tenable auras. And most def, it's not the same thing. It really isn't. Let's see. Oh, my phone has an update. This update brings 5G nationwide access to your device. 5G nationwide is available in 1,800 cities. You'll see a 5G icon when you're in a 5G nationwide coverage. Okay. Yeah, good luck to that shit. 5G is a myth. But alright, guys. that was good discussion, good talks. I know, of course, I didn't play a lot, but I just wanted to actually have this conversation. Just wish they would bring the black smoke back. Yeah, everybody wants that black smoke. But yeah, it was fun talk. Just really wanted to just brainstorm and bring these out about. No, South Carolina has no 5G cities. No, we don't. If we do, it definitely won't be my home state, my home city. But tomorrow I won't be streaming, because that's why I stream tonight, because I won't be tomorrow because I'm doing a work function. It's nice seeing Trek/DCO in the following list. Old school. We're getting closer to episode 39, so of course when episode 39 drops, I'll be there on the test server. I'm going to do, I know I say it a lot, but I'm going to try my best to be more efficient and more responsible with with updating the DCO source wall. We're going to try and get a lot of information as possible. And again, anyone who wants to help on the test server, please come over to the DCO source wall Discord and hit us up. We'll make a game plan. We'll try and tackle some stuff, try and get some information, and really, when it comes to DCUO, trying to get this kind of information is community sourced. We have to really come together as a community and try and find as much information as possible to get this, to get as much done as well. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you to the followers who are here for Genshin Impact. Much appreciated. Hope you stuck around and heard a little bit of the conversation. And thank you guys so much for joining in with my crazy harebrained schemes. And I will see you guys on Wednesday over at twitch.tv/nerdstheapocalypse. I think we're going to do another game report this week. I got to talk with Stevie B and see how he's doing. And again, he might take another week off, because I took 2 weeks off for apparently a quote unquote video game. So, he could do whatever. I know very little about Legion could be fun, huh? I know very little about Legion of Superheroes as well. Every comment I see about it's based off of Bendis's Legion run, I'm not really very confident, but I feel confident that our developers, our writers for this game, are going to do a better job than Bendis. I have that fear. Or not a fear, I have that faith. I have that faith that they're going to do a better job than Bendis. Even if it's going to be off of his designs of characters. Which, again, Saturn Girl looks great. I saw a picture of another character that I can't say, and I will say he looks fucking fantastic. He's a little bit different from his original, but I think he's going to look great. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday over at twitch.tv/nerdstheapocalypse. But until then, I'll see you guys back here on Thursday, hopefully. And we might get into actually some DCUO stuff, because, it's a reset day on Thursday. Right now, I'm just waiting for Legion of Superheroes. So I'm waiting for. You guys have yourselves a great night. Much appreciated. And mwah, you guys have fun. See you guys later. And thank you guys so much for the conversations. It really meant a lot to me tonight. You guys take care. Bye-bye.